Williams moment. And we'll start off with a overview from Jason, and then we'll talk to the Delaneys. And then we'll have questions to you. Overview, Jason.
Okay. Tough game. You know, anytime you get to this point in the season, you know, you always are prepared for this to maybe happen. I mean, it's just part of it. You know, tonight was probably the more credit needs to be given to New Orleans than for us saying that we just had a really bad game. I mean, I think they played really well tonight, and you know, you got to remember we played them about 2 weeks ago in their gym to win the championship, and so you know that had a lot of incentive, I'm sure, tonight, and they played like it. We weren't our best tonight, obviously. I thought defensively we made a lot of mistakes that we haven't been making, and you know, part of that is just probably their offense more than, you know, our lack of communication or whatever you want to call it. We've been great all year long. This is a really hard moment for me because this is probably the most special team I've ever coached or been around for a lot of reasons. The biggest reason is just the character of each guy on this team. It's amazing to come to work every day and just to go out and coach a bunch of young men that just all they wanted to do was win. There was not a selfish guy. We had no selfish moments past December, and it was just a lot of fun. Those guys shared the ball and played so well. And, you know, tonight we didn't make as many threes as we normally do, but, again, I think you got to give New Orleans a lot of credit.
Okay, questions for the student-athletes. Please identify yourself and your affiliation.
Brandon Williams, Southland.org. Question to both of you gentlemen. Was it something defensively that they were able to do to you guys tonight compared to what you saw a couple of weeks ago out in New Orleans?
You got that.
Josh, go ahead and start.
Not really. I feel like offensively we were getting the shots that we wanted. Our problem was just on the defensive end. We couldn't get a stop because I feel like we just were trading buckets. So I feel like our offense was there. We just couldn't get a stop on defense.
Cameron? Same question.
Oh, basically what he said. I feel like we ran good offense, but like we were trading buckets all game. We couldn't get a stop on defense. Coach Hooten really hit it. Our defense was really the issue. It wasn't really our offense.
Tyler Josephson with the Houstonian. Cam, coming in as the player of the year for the conference, was there any kind of extra weight on your shoulder when you took the court tonight? And Josh, same question, you coming in as the #1 seed.
I mean, the only weight that was on my shoulder was the weight that I put on it myself. I kind of feel like I was pressing, but then again, like my shots weren't falling. But like I said, the weight that was on my shoulders was the weight that I put on myself.
Coming in as a 1 seed, I feel like nobody on our team really cared about that because Coach Hooten told us that the year is breaking up into 3 seasons. We got a preseason, conference season, and a postseason. So every team came in here 0-0, so it didn't matter who was who. Like, it's March Madness, anything can happen. So no one cared that we were a 1 seed. We just needed to come out and get a win, but we didn't come out and do that.
For both of y'all, despite it being such a close game, you know, you guys were never able to take the lead. Do you feel like if you could have gotten it just one time that the outcome would have been a little bit different, just getting over that mental hurdle?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like if we would have got the lead at least one time, the game would have been a totally different story. Coach Hooten was saying all game in the huddle, if we can just get the lead, like, it's curtains, really.
Do you need me to answer that? I feel like if we just would have got the lead, the weight of getting over that last hump would have been different, but we couldn't get the lead. We just kept tying it or being down 1, so we just couldn't get a stop. Like he said all game, we can't keep trading buckets with a team like that.
Josh Crystal at the Huntsville Item. Josh, if you could just kind of take us through that last play, that last possession where you took the final shot. What did you see on that play?
We go over that play every day in the practice, so it's really second nature. It's a routine play. I just didn't get the shot to fall. I had a pretty big defender in front of me, so I shot it pretty deep, but just couldn't get the shot to fall.
And Cameron, lost tonight, but y'all do still have the NIT up ahead. How do y'all bounce back from maybe this emotional letdown with that just around the corner?
I mean, we're going to take tonight to get it off our minds, and then the next day we have practice just bounce back like we've been doing all season and try to win that first game in the NIT to get the ball rolling again.
Adari.
Hadari Jones, Garage Park Media. Cameron, being player of the year, you didn't have your typical night, had an off night shooting. What were they doing that had you so uncomfortable or unable to score the bucket like you normally would?
Really, I would just say teams have been kind of face guarding me since they've seen that I can shoot the ball pretty well, and then really they're making it hard for me to catch the ball, which made it tough. And then I had layups that I just cheesed up.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, guys, good luck in the NIT. But you can take your nameplates here. You're excused.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Give this to Ben. Okay, questions for Jason? Gamal?
Coach, I'm going to be with the #1 seed. Was it too much rest or too much rust?
That's hard to say. I mean, at the end of the year, a little rest doesn't hurt. I mean, we're a pretty tired team. When our backup point guard went down about a month and a half ago, and Josh ended up having to play about 38 minutes a night. I mean, we rode him pretty hard. So I think 5-6 days off. I mean, our game last Saturday night with SFA was obviously pretty intense. And so I don't think we were rusty. Again, I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, but you got to give New Orleans credit. I mean, they played a good game tonight, I mean, we had the game right where we wanted it, and it's just like those guys said, I called 2 or 3 timeouts that I usually don't call because all we needed was one stop. I usually don't call a timeout for stops because that's what we do. But we just needed a stop because if we'd have got the lead, we would have won the game. I'm very confident in that. But we just couldn't get the lead, and you got to give them credit for that.
Brett? Adari.
Coach, y'all missed a lot of shots in the paint. What do you think? Why do you think that was such a problem? I mean, y'all were attacking the basket. Y'all were getting good looks. You were putting pressure on the refs, but you weren't able to quite finish the plays. Why do you think that was?
Well, I think a lot of that is, and no disrespect to you, I know you don't follow our team all year long, but that's not our deal. We're obviously not a real big team, and we're not overly athletic. So it's not really our deal. They're long, they're athletic, they have good size, they're bigger than we are. Those shots are tough, and normally we beat people from the three-point line. We made 8 tonight. If we make 10 or 11, we win the game. So, I'd like to say, you got to make those, and you need to, but we haven't been really making those all year long. It's hard to say. I mean, I think you got to give, again, them credit for their length and their size inside. I thought it hurt us tonight. It didn't hurt us at their place because we did a really good job of pressuring the ball and keeping the ball out of the paint there. We didn't do that as well tonight, and I think that's the reason of the outcome.
Josh?
Josh Crystal, the Huntsville Item again. Coach, you talked about as y'all being a smaller team. How much did it hurt whenever Kai got into foul trouble early on? I think it was 4 of 4 whenever he headed to the bench.
Well, I think it hurt a lot considering he played 8 minutes in the first half and 88 points and 6 rebounds. Kai's really good. They don't have an answer for him in there. No one has in our league. That's why he's newcomer of the year. And, it hurt us. If he plays his normal 14 minutes in the first half, now all of a sudden how many points and rebounds? He had 8 and 6 in 8 minutes. So it's tough. But again, you got to give New Orleans credit. They had good size in there, and the Plaisance kid has played really well the last couple of weeks. He's been the difference in their team, in my opinion. That, and it's very easy. When those guys make 4 threes, they don't win. They made 6. All right? They make last night. That's a difference in their team. They're not a very good shooting team. When number 4 and number 13 make threes, they win. They're good when they make those threes, and they made them tonight. We gave them 1 or 2. What did we lose by? 1? Lost by 3. We gave them 1 or 2 too many threes.
Come on.
Coach, with this disappointing loss, but more than likely you'll be heading to the NIT, what do you take away from your overall season plus this game to turn around and get these boys back to a high level to be able to play, to advance in another tournament?
Well, first of all, we are going to the NIT because we won our league, which I think is the craziest thing the NCAA has going, is how you could be the best team in your conference for 18 games and you get rewarded with the NIT instead of the NCAA tournament, but that's for a different time and place. But I feel blessed to go to the NIT. It'd be the first time in the history of our school that we've been to the NIT. It's not the #1 goal of our team from the first day of practice. They wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. Who doesn't? I mean, I've never been as a head coach. It's one thing I'm chasing, and I'm going to continue to chase that. But getting them back up, these guys are high-character guys. They're going to come in. I'm going to give them off tomorrow and Sunday, and they'll come back Monday, and they'll be ready to go. I mean, these two guys right here, one of them's going to be a dentist, and the other one got his degree like a year and a half ago. I mean, you're not messing with, guys that you got to chase around and get to class every day. Those two guys are amazing. I mean, those are the two kind of guys you want marrying your daughter. Just phenomenal kids, and we got a bunch of them in that locker room. And that's the hardest thing about that is those guys, because they've worked so hard, and I know what they want as much as I want. But you just got to bounce back. It's part of it. It's part of the business. It's never easy. It's not a hard profession. It's a tough profession, but you just got to bounce back.
Okay, have time for one more question. And if not, Jason, congratulations on – oh, okay. This will be it.
Perfect.
Coach Jesser from KX and Bryan College Station.
Yes.
You won a lot of games, close games, and I think you had that one stretch where you played 4 of them, 3 went to overtime, and found a way to win them. This one close down the stretch. Were you confident that, hey, we've been there and done that, this is going to happen again tonight?
Well, yes. Yeah. Always confident, especially when you got Josh and the ball in his hand. I thought at the end that we would, I thought if we could be down 1 or 2 that we'd make a 3 to win. It didn't work out that way, and you got to give them credit too because they made their free throws there at the end. Kid didn't make them last night, and we fouled him on purpose, and he made them tonight. So you got to give that kid credit. But yeah, in that game and in that situation, I think our team is built for that because we've had a team that doesn't panic. Even tonight when we got down 9-2, we didn't get off to our best start tonight. They made a few shots, and I knew they would play well. They're playing good right now, and that's part of it. I knew we were going to have to beat a good team tonight that's playing good. And so, you figure it's going to come down to the wire. The play that we drew up at the end with Josh's shot, we work on that play every day. We've ran it one time this year. One time. That was the only time we had to run it all year long. So, and they ran it to a T. And we had the ball in the hand of the guy want to shoot it. And it was a tough shot. Big kid, contested, fading away. But he also made like 3 of those to even get us back in the game. So, I'm always confident in this team, again, because of the character and just the no-quit. And they're 16-2 in the league. That trophy's sitting in my office. And it's got a net hung onto it, too. And we're going to go to that NIT, and we're going to make our league, and we're going to make our university proud first round.
Okay. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.